Have you ever felt like you were born for something greater, but still haven't found the right path? Maybe this is the moment that will change everything in your life. Before we continue, I want you to be part of this transformation. Leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell so that this message reaches more people. Now write in the comments, "I choose to grow." By typing this phrase, you not only express your decision, but you send a signal to the universe that you are ready for the next level. Get ready, because what comes next could be the missing key to changing your story. Do you feel like something bigger is happening in your life? If you've made it this far, know that this wasn't a coincidence. The universe, or rather God, has a purpose for you, and this moment is a milestone in your journey. Every decision, every experience, and every challenge you have faced so far has brought you to this exact point. Have you ever wondered why certain things happened the way they did? Because everything is part of a bigger plan. But not everyone is ready to understand this call. Some ignore the signs, others resist the change. But those who hear and accept the message know they are on the verge of a great transformation. Change begins when we understand that nothing happens without reason. Perhaps you have faced difficulties, losses, moments of uncertainty. But what if all of this was necessary to prepare you for something bigger? Gold needs to go through fire to be purified, and it's no different with you. Every tear, every obstacle, every struggle had a purpose: to strengthen your faith, shape your character, and bring you closer to what really matters. The problem is that many give up along the way. They feel tired, discouraged, trapped in a system that limits their dreams and potential, but not you. You are here because something inside you screams that there is more. Now the question is, are you ready to answer this call? The world around you may try to distract you. It may put doubts in your mind. But the truth is that you already have everything you need to move forward. Just open your mind and your heart to see what has always been in front of you. This journey will not be easy, but the greatest rewards are never for those who choose the simplest path. They belong to those who dare, those who persist, those who believe. And if you still have questions, just stick with me, because what comes next could change your life forever. The life you have today is a direct reflection of your thoughts and the choices you made along the way. Many people believe that destiny is predetermined, that their current conditions are permanent, but this is not true. The change you so desire begins within you, at the exact moment you decide to see things from a new perspective. The human mind is powerful. Everything you focus on expands. If you live surrounded by negative thoughts, fear, and insecurity, your reality will reflect exactly that. But if you learn to adjust your mindset to see opportunities where you previously saw difficulties, you will realize that life can transform in surprising ways. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to attract success and prosperity, while others are always stuck with the same difficulties? That's not luck, it's mentality. Those who understand that reality can be shaped based on thoughts and actions take control of their own destiny. This does not mean that challenges will not arise along the way, but rather that the way you react to them will determine whether they will be obstacles or stepping stones to your growth. If you really want to transform your life, start by observing the thought patterns you have been feeding. Are they thoughts of growth or limitations? Are they ideas that drive you or keep you in the same place? People's biggest mistake is thinking that external change can happen without internal change first occurring. You can have all the opportunities in the world in front of you, but if your mindset is stuck in a cycle of fear and scarcity, you will never be able to take advantage of them. God gave us the power of free will to choose which path to follow. So the question is, will you keep repeating the same patterns, or will you finally take a step out of your comfort zone and take control of your life? The decision is in your hands. We all carry weights from the past. Some of these burdens are experiences, pains and traumas that have shaped who we are. But many of them have become invisible chains that bind us, preventing us from moving forward. How many opportunities have you missed out of fear? How many dreams have been postponed because you believed you weren't good enough? The past can be a prison, but it can also be a valuable master. The choice of how to use it is in your hands. If you continue to carry resentments, regrets, and limiting beliefs, you will never be able to see what God is trying to put before you. The truth is that what ties us to the past is often not what happened, but the way we choose to remember and carry those events. The pain you experienced can be fuel for your growth or a poison that consumes your energy. You can use them as a ladder to climb or as anchors that hold you in the same place. What needs to be left behind? A negative belief, a relationship that isn't good for you, a mistake you still haven't forgiven yourself for. God is ready to guide you to a new path, but you need to let go of the ties that still bind you to what has already happened. Freeing yourself from the past does not mean forgetting it, but learning from it. You can't change what happened, but you can decide how it will affect your future. Forgive yourself, forgive others, and move forward. What is in front of you is much greater than what is behind you. God has a purpose for you, but it can only be fulfilled when you let go of what is no longer part of your journey. The past has done its job. Now it's time to look forward and take a new step towards the life you truly deserve. From an early age, society teaches us that success and financial stability are directly linked to a traditional path. Studying, getting a steady job, and working tirelessly until retirement. But is this really the only way to prosper? What if true wealth was beyond this model that was imposed on us? God did not create us to just survive within a system that limits us, but rather to thrive fully and abundantly. However, few understand this truth and remain stuck in thought patterns that prevent them from seeing what is truly possible. The prosperity that God promises is not just in material goods, but in the fullness of a life aligned with your purpose. The Bible teaches us that Solomon, one of the richest and wisest men in history, understood that true wealth is not just in a salary, but in wise administration and connection with divine principles. He did not cling to the fear of scarcity, but trusted that by following the paths of wisdom and faith, abundance would be a natural consequence. Unfortunately, many people view wealth as something unattainable or believe that it is restricted to a select group of individuals. This is a mistake. What really defines prosperity is not what you earn, but what you do with what you receive. What's the point of having a high salary if your mind is still conditioned to limitation and fear of lack? To unlock true abundance, it is necessary to break these patterns and understand that prosperity is not just about money, but about purpose, generosity, and wisdom in managing resources. God doesn't want you to just survive. He wants you to thrive so you can impact the lives of others and fulfill your mission on earth. Are you ready to change your mindset and accept this promise? King Solomon was not only one of the richest men in history, but also one of the wisest. His wealth came not just from financial strategies, but from a deep understanding of the divine principles that govern prosperity. At Proverbs 8:18, he reveals a powerful secret. Riches and honor are with me, durable goods and righteousness. But what does this really mean? This teaches us that true prosperity is not just material, but is based on eternal values. It's not just about accumulating assets, but about building a life of purpose and integrity, where wealth serves as a means to something greater rather than an end in itself. Many people see money as something bad, or believe that being rich is incompatible with spirituality. However, Solomon teaches us that true wealth comes when we follow the principles of justice, honesty, and wisdom. He did not seek wealth out of vanity, but rather to fulfill his purpose, and as a consequence, he was blessed with prosperity beyond imagination. This means that when you align your life with the right principles, abundance becomes a natural consequence. It's not about working non-stop, but about working smart, knowing that each financial decision must be aligned with a greater purpose. What we learn from Solomon is that wealth without wisdom is destructive, but wealth guided by principles becomes a powerful tool for transforming lives. If you want to prosper, you must first seek knowledge, manage your resources well, and align your actions with God's purposes. When you understand that money should not be an idol, but a tool, your relationship with prosperity transforms. Are you willing to follow the principles that led Solomon to experience a life of wealth and honor? If so, then this is just the beginning of an extraordinary journey towards true and lasting prosperity. Have you ever stopped to think how many times your mind has limited your own achievements? True financial freedom is not just in how much money you make, but in how you see and manage your resources. Many live trapped in the belief that they need to work tirelessly to survive, accepting a life of limitations, while others understand that prosperity begins within the mind. If you believe that you will never have enough or that getting rich is wrong, you will always be sabotaging your own opportunities. Your mind can be your greatest prison or your greatest tool for liberation. The first step to breaking away from this limiting mindset is identifying the negative beliefs that were implanted in you from an early age. How many times have you heard phrases like "money is the root of all evil" or "rich people don't get into heaven"? These distorted ideas shape the way you see wealth, causing you to unconsciously push prosperity out of your life. Money is neither good nor bad. It is just a tool that enhances who you already are. When we understand that God wants us to have a prosperous life to fulfill our purpose, our relationship with money changes completely. From the moment you start to reprogram your mindset and see money as a resource that can bring a positive impact, everything changes. Instead of working just to pay bills, you start building a legacy. Instead of just worrying about survival, you learn to multiply and manage wisely. True financial freedom is not just in the bank account, but in the peace of knowing that your decisions are not driven by fear of scarcity, but by trust in divine abundance. Are you ready to let go of the beliefs that limit you and embrace this new vision? Few stories in the Bible illustrate the power of resilience and financial stewardship, as well as that of Joseph of Egypt. Sold into slavery by his own brothers, unjustly accused and imprisoned, Joseph had every reason to give up. However, he chose to trust God's plan. Instead of giving in to despair, he used his intelligence and faith to turn every adversity into an opportunity. This is how, even in the midst of crises, he became governor of Egypt and saved an entire nation from famine. The great lesson in Jose's story is the way he managed resources in times of abundance to ensure survival in the future. He understood something that few understand. Wealth is not just about earning, but about knowing how to manage and multiply. How many people today live trapped in cycles of scarcity because they don't know how to manage what they have? They spend everything they earn, take on unnecessary debt, and don't prepare for the future. Jose, on the other hand, teaches us that those who plan and act wisely can overcome any crisis and ensure a life of stability and purpose. If you want to prosper, you need to adopt Joseph's mindset. He didn't wait for luck to change his reality. He made smart decisions and prepared for the future. Likewise, you can transform your financial life if you start acting strategically and responsibly. This means learning about finances, investing in your knowledge, and applying biblical management principles. No matter what challenges you are facing right now, your story is not over yet. Like Joseph, you can escape the prison of scarcity to live the fullness of abundance. But to do that, you need to take the first step. There is a dangerous myth that has prevented many people from experiencing the prosperity that God desires for them. The belief that money and spirituality are opposites. For years, we have been conditioned to believe that seeking wealth is wrong, that wanting a prosperous life means a lack of faith. However, the Bible itself is filled with examples of men and women who were blessed with resources and used them to fulfill a greater purpose. The problem has never been with money, but with the way we relate to it. If wealth were an issue, why would God bless figures like Abraham, Job, and Solomon with abundance? The difference is in the heart. Those who put money above all else, who live only to accumulate without purpose, end up becoming slaves to their own greed. But those who understand that wealth is a tool for doing good, helping other people, and expanding the kingdom of God, can manage their resources wisely. The issue is not the money itself, but what you do with it. Many fail to pursue financial growth for fear of appearing less spiritual, but this mindset keeps them trapped in scarcity. God doesn't want you to live in suffering and lack. He wants you to prosper so you can impact lives. When you understand that having money does not mean losing your connection with God, but rather using it responsibly and in line with spiritual values, your vision changes completely. So ask yourself, are you allowing limiting beliefs to prevent you from experiencing the fullness of prosperity? If there is a clear warning in the Bible about finances, it is in 1 Timothy 6:10. The love of money is the root of all evil. Note that the verse does not say that money is the problem, but rather excessive attachment to it. When we place the pursuit of wealth above all else, we become slaves to a destructive cycle of unbridled ambition. Many lose their health, destroy relationships, and compromise their integrity just to accumulate more. But in the end, they discover that money alone was never enough to bring happiness or fulfillment. The danger of the love of money is that it can distract us from our true purpose. When wealth becomes the only goal, we end up moving away from the values that really matter. How many stories do we know of people who had everything materially, but were empty inside? The blind pursuit of money without purpose leads to constant dissatisfaction, because there will always be something more to be achieved. On the other hand, those who understand that money should be a means and not an end are able to find balance and true fulfillment. The solution to this lies in aligning prosperity with a greater purpose. When you use your resources to build something meaningful, to help other people, and to create a positive legacy, money becomes a powerful tool. It's okay to desire a comfortable life, as long as that pursuit doesn't destroy your peace, your values, and your spiritual connection. The real secret is not to avoid money, but to learn to use it wisely and consciously. The question is, are you controlling your finances, or are they controlling you? The crisis can be seen in two ways: as an insurmountable obstacle or as fertile ground for new opportunities. The difference between those who succumb to hardship and those who thrive amidst chaos is their mindset. Throughout history, the greatest leaders and visionaries have found their moments of growth just when everything seems to be falling apart. Joseph of Egypt did not become governor in good times, but in the midst of a great crisis. Thomas Edison did not revolutionize the world on the first try, but after countless failures. The lesson here is clear. Adversity does not exist to destroy you, but to strengthen you. Many people, when faced with financial difficulties, enter a state of despair and paralysis. They focus on the problem and not the solution. But those who understand that each crisis brings with it a new opportunity begin to see possibilities where others only see ruins. When the world slows down, when everything seems uncertain, it is the perfect time to innovate, learn, and reinvent yourself. The greatest ideas emerge precisely during these periods, when those with courage and vision decide to act rather than just complain. History is full of examples of people who emerged stronger from difficult times because they chose to look beyond the chaos. If you are facing a crisis, ask yourself, what is the hidden opportunity in this situation? Maybe it's time to learn a new skill, change your financial strategy, or create something new. It was never the external scenario that defined your destiny, but rather the way you react to it. God does not allow us to go through challenges without a greater purpose. Trust that even in difficulties, there is a chance for growth waiting for you. The crisis may be the end for some, but for those with vision, it is just the beginning of a new chapter of success. Are you ready to look beyond the storm and find the opportunity God has placed in your path? If there is one factor that separates those who achieve their dreams from those who give up along the way, it is persistence. Many people start out full of enthusiasm, but when challenges arise, they feel discouraged and give up before they even see the fruits of their efforts. The truth is that success doesn't happen overnight. It requires patience, discipline, and the ability to keep moving forward even when everything seems to be against you. Solomon teaches us in Proverbs 13:4, "The lazy man desires and has nothing, but the soul of the diligent is satisfied." In other words, success does not just come from wanting something, but from acting consistently. Think of any great achievement in human history. None of them happened without obstacles. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. Walt Disney was rejected several times before building his empire. Joseph of Egypt was betrayed, imprisoned, and humiliated before becoming governor. The difference between these people and so many others who were left along the way was their ability to persist, even when everything seemed lost. Persistence turns temporary failures into stepping stones to success. So look at your life today and ask yourself, are you giving up too soon? Are you allowing obstacles to stop you? Each challenge you overcome not only brings you closer to your goal, but also shapes your character, strengthens your faith, and expands your ability to achieve even more. Persistence isn't just about achieving a financial or career goal, it's about building an unshakable mindset. Are you willing to keep moving forward even when the journey seems difficult? Money alone has no power. He is just a means, a tool. What determines whether it will be a blessing or a curse is how you use it. There are those who use money as an instrument to impact lives, generate opportunities, and help those in need. But there are also those who turn him into an idol, placing him above values, relationships, and even their own dignity. The Bible teaches us that the problem was never money, but rather excessive love for it. How many people have lost their peace, their friends and their family because of an unbridled search for wealth? How many exchanged their integrity for quick and illicit gains? On the other hand, there are those who understand that money can be a great ally in achieving greater purposes. It can be used to create businesses that employ others, finance projects that help communities, and provide security for your family. The question is not whether or not you have money, but rather what your relationship with it is. God wants us to manage our resources wisely and responsibly. He wants us to prosper, but never let money have the wrong place in our hearts. If used correctly, money can be a powerful instrument of transformation. But if placed above everything else, it can become a prison. So look at your life today. Are you in control of your money, or is it in control of you? Many seek prosperity, but few actually prepare for it. The problem is not a lack of opportunities, but a lack of knowledge. The truth is that making money is just the first step. Knowing how to manage and multiply it is what really guarantees stability and growth. Without financial education, even those who earn a lot end up losing everything, while those who learn to manage their resources are able to build wealth in a solid and lasting way. Unfortunately, most people have never been taught about money. We learn to work to earn a salary, but we don't learn to invest, save, and make money work for us. As a result, many people live trapped in debt with no prospects for financial growth. The good news is that it is never too late to change this reality. Today, more than ever, there are accessible books, courses, and content that can transform your view of finance. The Bible has been teaching us about financial education for centuries. Joseph of Egypt knew how to manage resources during times of abundance to ensure survival in times of scarcity. Solomon, with his wisdom, understood that wealth without knowledge is fleeting. If you want to prosper, invest in learning. Dedicate yourself to understanding how money works and how you can use it to create a more secure and prosperous future. Your financial freedom depends more on what you know than on the amount you earn. What will be your legacy? What will you leave for the next generations? Many people live only for the present without thinking about the long-term impact of their actions. But those who truly thrive understand that their journey is not just about them, but about everyone who will be impacted by their choices. True wealth is not just in material goods, but in the legacy of faith, wisdom, and impact that we leave to the world. Solomon left an example of prosperity based on wisdom. Joseph of Egypt transformed the life of an entire nation through his responsible administration. Jesus taught us that our mission goes beyond the accumulation of wealth, but rather in the way we use what we have to fulfill a greater purpose. The money may disappear, but the values, teachings, and influence you transmit continue for generations. If you want to build a legacy, start now. How you manage your time, money, and talents today will determine the impact you leave in the future. Live intentionally, planning and building something that makes a difference not just for you, but for everyone around you. A true legacy isn't just remembered. It continues to transform lives, even after we're gone. Are you building a future of value or just living in the moment? Now that we've been through this journey of learning and reflection, there's only one question left. Are you ready to take the next step? Many people spend their lives waiting for the right moment to act. But the truth is that there will never be a perfect moment. What separates those who transform their lives from those who remain stuck in the same difficulties is the decision to act. God created you for abundance, for a greater purpose. But this transformation only happens when you choose to break with old patterns, change your mindset, and apply new knowledge. You already know what needs to be done. Now it's time to put it into practice. Start small, but start. Invest in learning, take better care of your resources, seek continuous growth. The life you want is not as far away as it seems. It only depends on your decision to take the first step. The choice is before you. Continue on the traditional path, living in fear and limitation, or embrace a new vision of prosperity and purpose. The decision is yours. But remember, your life starts to change the moment you decide to change. So, what will your choice be?